All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. And what I'm going to do is right now I am going to attempt to lay out the steps to show you how to add a non-database ASP.NET project to AppHarbor. So in other words, this is going to take a non-database ASP.NET project and upload it to the AppHarbor server. So you'd be able to get to it, all right, and you'd be able to get to it from the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm not only going to do this, but I'm going to try to document each step. So the first step is copy a project to your desktop. You don't have to do it this way. You can put it anywhere you want to put it, but that's what I'm going to do. All right. Now, I'm actually, just so I'm sure I've got one that works, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab one from the author himself. So here's my Muroc folder. I've got an ASP.NET instructors. Let's go to extra exercises here. All right, here's that quotation thing. So I'm going to grab this XEX04 quotation. This is that price quote program. So I'm going to copy it to the clipboard and I'm going to paste it right to my desktop. All right. So again, even though I put that down as a first step, technically that's optional. All right. So I'll put even here, optional. Second, bring the project up in Visual Studio 2015, you know what we're working with, Community Edition, run it to guarantee it works. Again, this is not required, but it is strongly recommended. All right, so let's do I've already done the first thing. There's the project. Now I'm going to double click on it, double click on the solution file, which should bring it up in Visual Studio. There's not much in this particular project, I know that. All right, I'm going to double click on the default.aspx file. All right, and then right mouse click on that file and choose View in Browser. I always recommend using Chrome for this, but again, people have their own likes and dislikes. There it is. So if I do come in here, let's see, $100 at 20%, $20 discount, $80. It looks like it works just fine. All right. So, and again, I'm not trying to insult anyone by the way I'm putting this down, but bring up the project, run it, stop the run. Next, we're going to start up AppHarbor. Again, I'm just going to go out to AppHarbor.com. Of course, you must do this because we're about to put this under AppHarbor. All right, so I'm going to leave that right there, but it's not running any longer. So I'm going to bring up a browser window, and in here I'm going to type in AppHarbor.com. Oops, yeah, this spelled it right. All right. And click the Your Applications button or link at the top. So, click Your Applications. Now I've got a bunch of stuff up here I really don't need anymore. And just so you know, if I don't want this anymore, let's see, if I right mouse click on this, no, it wasn't that. Let's just create a new project. So under the create new application, type in your application name. I'm going to call this JP Scott price quotation. So, again, under create new application, enter a new name for your AppHarbor project. You know, you can call it whatever you want. You saw what I called mine. All right. So we entered the name, click the Create New button, again, I'm purposely being very verbose here. I want to put down everything that we're doing. All right. We don't have any add-ons. We don't have any installed. There are no installed add-ons. There should not be a need to add any add-ons. All right. So, next. Go down to the bottom, near the bottom left-hand corner, and click the repository URL button. So go down to the bottom, to near the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and click the repository URL link. Okay, so I've clicked that link. All right, you see it up in the upper right-hand corner now. Highlight the link. Not like that. Highlight the link and copy it to the clipboard. So, highlight this link, which is again in upper now right-hand corner. And copy it to the clipboard. All right, we're making progress, little by little here. All right, next. Right mouse click on the project folder. So here's my, there it is. So right mouse click on the project folder and choose Git Bash here. So right mouse click on the associated project folder and choose, what was it again? Sorry. Git Bash here. You can do it GUI also, but I'm going to choose Git Bash here. Now, I'm not going to put in steps like, you know, make your screen bigger, because if your screen is big enough, you won't have to do that. All right. So I've done that. I am going to make mine bigger, so hopefully everybody can see what I'm doing. All right. And the good news is I can use DOS key here. So here's the commands. All right, so I'm going to give you the Git commands in order. All right, so run these Git commands in this order. First, you want to do a git init, and that will create your repository. Let's put a comment here. Creates repository. All right. So, again, first thing we want there is a git init. Hit enter. It's going to initialize your empty repository. That's a good start. Next, we want to do a git add dot, and I clicked the wrong thing here. So as soon as this comes up, I'm going to remove it. All right. So next, we want to git add dot. Which will add all files to the repository. I'll just say to the repo. Okay? So again, git add dot. There it is. Hit enter. Now you might get some of these warnings about line feeds. Don't worry about it if you do. All right? It's to be expected. Next, we want to say this. All right. Oops. What you want to put here, well, it actually just ran it for me too, is you want to put in, let's see if it lets me copy this. We'll see. This is going to be big. So next, Git Remote AppHarbor, and I'm just going to put here, I'm not going to put this in. I'm going to say the Git repository URL. All right. So after you run these commands, of course, you want to hit enter after each one. So git init, git add dot, git repository, and then add the Git repository URL onto the end of that. All right. So we did the, let's take it from the back here. Git init, git add dot, git remote. All right, so here's the next one. So next we want to git commit. -m, and then we'll put in here some kind of a relevant comment. All right. For instance, I'm going to put here in mind git commit -m, and I'm going to put price quotation AppHarbor build 1. Okay, and it doesn't really matter that much what you put, but it should be something relevant. All right, so there's the commit. Again, it told me, it kind of showed me here everything that it's committing. All right, we're almost finished. Now it's Git Push AppHarbor master. Git Push AppHarbor master. All right, I believe those are all the commands. So let's go back and double check. So there's that. It's going to go and build this now. So you might get a bunch of messages. There you go. What did I get? Rejected. Failed to push some of these. Updates were rejected because the remote contains work you do not have. You may want to first integrate the remote changes. Do a git pull before pushing again. See the notes about fast forwards in the git push. Huh. I have not seen this error before. Fail to push some refs here. Updates were rejected because the remote contains work that you do not have locally. Well, let's try to do this. I'm going to go back and end up redoing almost all these same steps again. But I'm going to come back to my project, and I'm going to build it. So I'm going to do a build solution. That's it. In fact, I'm going to save it, save all, and do another build solution. All right, now I'm just going to basically replicate most of these steps again. I don't have to do the init, but I'm going to do another git add. All right. And I'm going to do another Git Remote Add, and I'm going to have to bring, to AppHarbor, and I'm going to have to bring that repository URL back again, which is fine. These are always teaching moments for all of us, including the instructor. All right, so I'm going to go back to AppHarbor here. Again, grab this, copy it to the clipboard. Paste that in. Oh, it says it already exists, so evidently you're right, they're right, I don't have to do that. So, if there's an error, go back and do number 2, then go right back to number 4, and to number 5, or B, D, and E. Alright, so let's try to do this with git commit -m again. You can always use DOS key here. So I'm going to call this build 2 because it is the second one. All right. And finally, I'm going to try to do my git push. It's still giving me an error. Again, I have not seen this error before. Fetch first error. Failed to push some refs here. Updates were rejected because the remote contains work that you do not have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing to the same ref. You may want to first integrate the remote changes before pushing again. See the note about fast forwards in the git push -- help for details. Git push -- help. So I'm supposed to see the note about fast forwards that are going to be in here. So let's look for fast. All right. Oh, that's in there a lot. The special steps to allow a non-fast forward update. Well, they talked about doing a push - all. I just saw that there. I don't know if this will help or if I'm going to make it worse. So push - all. Of course, command not found. Git push fast forward. A git pull, well, let's look at this. Force a git push to overwrite remote files. That sounds like what I'd like to do. To push all your branches, do one of these. I'm going to grab that one. So I'm going to do a Git push remote minus minus all. Remote does not appear to be a Git repository. Could not read from remote repository. Okay. You should do this before you push. For remote in Git branch, etc., etc. Let's see. I'm hoping I'm not going to make this bad problem worse, but I'm going to try this. Came back with no errors, which is always a good thing. So I'm going to try now my Git push minus minus all. No configured push destination, yeah. I don't know if that is still in there. No, it's not. So I'm going to put that remote URL back in here. This is interesting. I figured this was literally going to take me a matter of minutes to do it. As you can tell, it's not. All right, let's try this. We'll make it AppHarbor 2. Okay, we did that. And next, we're told after we do that, then do a git push. No, I already did that, so... No? What will this do if I try it now? No configured push destination. That's a much better sign. Okay. So let's jump back into AppHarbor and refresh the screen. So after we did all that stuff, go back to AppHarbor.com, refresh screen. If the status becomes succeeded, all right, so if status is succeeded, all right, click the deploy button in the upper right hand corner. So there should be a button here that's towards the upper right that says deploy. Well, it's not there yet. I think it's because this is active. All right, so let's try it. Wonder what's going to happen if we reload the page again. All right, so I reloaded the page. Now I'm going to click the go to your application button. So, change those, order of those. If no deploy button, refresh the screen again. and find the you can see it's already up here. Deploy your application now link. Shouldn't even say find, I should say click the deploy, or I think it's run your application now link. All right, you might get that new Nginx message, and if you do, you'll have to wait. All right. Note, you are on the internet, and notice the associated URL. And in my case, it is under right here. All right. Now, JP Scott price quotation is what I named the project originally, .apphb.com. If you use really generic names, like if you call it just price quotation, you might get a message back saying that name is already used, in which case you'd have to either do something like I've done with appending or prepending at the beginning, something like your initials or your name or whatever, or put a number and append that at the end over here. So you probably either have to put something at the beginning. If it's just called price quotation and you get a message back that already exists, you'll have to put something at the beginning and or something right there at the end. And that's it. Now, it took longer than I thought, but we do have a project. It's up and it's running. I'm starting to wonder, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm learning this stuff along with you. But I am starting to wonder if part of the reason we were getting that problem is every single time I have created a new project, and I now have upwards of 8 projects on here, but every time we were creating a new project, I was calling everything I was saving just AppHarbor. That's probably not a good idea. So I'm going to come back in just a moment. I'm going to try to do the same thing, but with a database first project and get that to work. So I'll be back with that very shortly.